Set your butane torches to high and your expectations to low. Coming to you live from Just the Tip Cigars in the hills of the Steel City. Get ready to get your fix. This is the Cigar Junkies Podcast. Welcome to the Cigar Junkies Podcast, a cigar show for the community by the community. A forum that talks stogies, booze, food, and anything else in the cigar lifestyle. If you're looking for ratings, negativity, reviews, or an authority on all things cigars, you came to the wrong place. Whether you like what you hear or not, please join the conversation and let us know by finding us at the Cigar Junkies Facebook group or emailing us at thecigarjunkies@gmail.com.
What's up, junkies?
Here we go again. And we've got...
What's Corey's weakness?
Men. And there's a lot of them here today. We've got traders in our midst. So this is black and gold country, but not the black and gold that these jokers on the other side of the table are wearing.
I think you mentioning that's the first time I realized those weren't Penguins jerseys.
It's why we called the show Black and Gold Jokers. Yeah. They went last night. They planned... Okay, so first of all, let's get this out of the way. RJ... not Umberger, but RJ works with us at the old Milleroonie. And so when him and Jason met months ago, they immediately fell in love over their mutual love of the Boston Bruins, which I find personally disgusting, but that's fine. Hey, whatever.
Nuggle buddies
whatever
for life.
you need, you know. But they immediately began planning their dream date night, right? Of we got to figure out when the Bruins are coming to town and go to a Penguins game together and stuff. And so, like, this is a long time in the making.
Go to a Bruins game together, not a Penguins
fair
game.
Enough. You need that mic just a little closer. Pretend it's pretend it's
you got to
Marciac.
eat that thing.
You gotta eat
So
it.
you want to hover just above the rim.
Is that better?
Yeah.
You can adjust the angle.
Pretend you're
of the
Corey
angle.
trying to get a job.
That's right.
Just really get in there.
I mean,
How
obviously,
much you
I
do it?
get the job. Wrong one there. Oh, you could do that also, but I would just tilt. So anyways, they began planning their evening of romance, which finally came to fulfillment last night. And
Is
I'm
that
sure,
everything you'd hoped for, Jay?
I'm sure that we'll get to... Actually, let's just do that now, man.
Yeah.
So how was your week, Jason?
Oh, man. The game was incredible. We had row B seats right behind the... What was it?
It was the single attack side for the Penguins, but
I saw
double for
a
Bruins.
very nice picture of Carlson. So was that the seat? Was that from your seat?
Mm-hmm.
That is impressive seats.
Yeah.
I mean, he was against the glass. Like
You were
if
hey.
that glass wasn't there, you could have been rimming.
Oh,
Eric
yeah.
Carlson.
Oh, yeah.
You were eye level with
For
the brown eye.
For
you know?
sure. And there was a comment I made to RJ during the game. I was like, does Evgeny Malkin ever play with his mouth closed?
No, he does
The
not.
dude is always like...
He's a mouth-breathing Russian.
That's fair. But he is score,
He is score.
and that's what matters.
He used to be score.
That's fair. That's fair.
Y'all are...
Why don't you have the camera on you?
It's perfect.
Yeah, until this is
Where's
the
my
only
hand?
reason that I use the covers on the microphones, even though they're like all
Yeah, they're starting to
battered
get
and
it now.
bruised and toast, is to keep the cigar ashes out of the microphone.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
So continue your evening.
So yeah, we went to the hockey game. It was
Wait, I'm sorry. We're going to backtrack a little bit. So originally, who approached who first?
he came down to the office that I was sitting at.
To yell at us.
Yeah,
Yes,
to yell at
as
us.
I
Oh,
do
nice.
quite frequently.
Okay.
And we were
Usually
talking about
for our Kramen. Why's your Kramen jerking off up there, you know?
But usually I walk in rather calm, and I'm like, it's about 30 seconds before I'm going to explode. I need you to fix this.
yeah, he's
got
like,
a better face on. It's like a PTSD face that you just don't get it.
I'm looking right
know?
through both of them when I walk down there. But
Oh.
So we started talking, and he was like, "Oh, I play hockey, or whatever it was." I was like, "Oh, I play hockey too." Here's a picture of me with my son, and he looks at it and he's like, "Is it a Bruins jersey you're wearing?" I was like,
you're like, yeah, it is. Whatever.
And he was like, "Oh, hold on," and he shows me all this Bruins shit on his phone, and he was like, "Did we just be?"
quarter?
Oh,
Jingle,
man.
jingle. Can you
Bang,
make, can
it
you make
didn't
the
take
shot?
long.
Oh, I can.
Use that garbage phone as a backboard.
Yeah, you're
I'm terrible.
That's our.
So he was like,
that's why it's hockey and not
I
basketball.
think we just became best friends.
Yep.
It was a Step Brothers moment.
Yeah,
it truly was.
It really was.
So the Bruins are bonding. Yay. So anyways, so you met last night.
So what's your boy, the rat? They call him something like that.
Brad Marchand.
Yeah. So they're rats together.
No. I mean, we can.
I'm gonna start calling you the Mill Rats.
I'm okay with that.
Good. I'm good with it.
All right.
I'll live with it.
So,
Better than most of my nicknames.
That was that night. And that had to have been like June or July. We were like, let's go to a Penguins game, or let's go to a Bruins game.
It had to be after the schedule come out. So it'd have to be July, August-ish time.
Yeah. So we were talking about it, and we were like, yeah, it'd be really cool. And then we met up at the
Christmas party?
The White Elephant.
Yes.
And we're like, let's buy these seats.
That is not a sex club. That is just our Christmas party.
One of them.
One of them.
And
that was the one that no terrible things happened at.
Mm-hmm.
We bought the tickets to the game at the White Elephant, and that was in December. So
Christmas parties usually are.
Yeah, we shot. Oh my gosh, you almost got me. You almost got me.
Just say him, bud.
So we get the tickets. And we've just been waiting for last night for a while, and so last night comes.
So did they.
So did the fire department.
So did the fire department
And the EMS.
Yeah. And the game was incredible. It was a 10-goal game.
Yeah, it was.
I would recommend you do your best not to hit the physical board. Because your camera is far out, and it does a little jingle jangle.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So it was a 10-goal game, which was awesome. We had met a colleague there, and they had bought us food and drinks, which was also awesome.
Yeah.
Then we went to the casino afterwards.
That might be the highlight of the night.
No. On our way to the casino, we saw a random person who I thought was getting their junk grabbed by an EMT.
I think it's just one of those cases of like, bring out the hose because they couldn't get disconnected.
It was weird. It was weird. And I'm like, is that EMT grabbing that person's junk?
He has to be.
And then there's like 2 more firefighters that ran across the road, and there's like 5 of these people over there.
I don't know how you didn't at least point your camera around the bend to get the picture. Because what I'm hoping happened was they got their piercings entangled and they couldn't get them apart.
Well,
that would have been
like right there on the side of the road like that.
I mean,
the
if that
one
happened,
of them people did not have their pants up,
and they were
entirely possible.
But the other one had their pants up.
Right.
So one of them was
fly
tangled.
for a
Maybe the one piercing is still attached to the other piercing.
Yeah.
Or one piercing is attached to the zipper of the
zipper.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's all kind of gold there. Like, I don't know how you didn't go, all right, this one's for Eric, you know.
Well,
this one's for the gram. Click, click.
Unfortunately, we'd realized it when we were right parallel with them, so we couldn't get an angled shot.
From now on, you carry a selfie stick at all times.
Just stick out the window of the truck right around them.
Hey, what we should have done was we should have stopped and gone over and been like, can we be of any assistance?
Just put the hazards on.
I've got the DJI gimbal in the bag. You could just take it with you and keep it at all times. You could just be like, whoosh.
So Seneca commented, what is he looking at? Did someone forget to flush the toilet?
Oh.
So there you go.
Speaking of people who didn't buy a truck.
So
Seneca,
we make our way to the casino. We sit down at the blackjack table, which was an incredibly bad idea.
It was a horrible idea. It's a horrible idea.
The blackjack table, it was
They
like...
hated you.
Yes, it hated us. It was like that scene from Vegas Vacation when I felt like the guy was like, how about you just give me the money? I'll take you out back, kick you in the nuts, and we'll call it even.
Hey, Griswold.
So we were like, okay, let's go play something else. So we go over and I'm like, let's play some 3-card poker. Because I understand 3-card poker and I like it. We could not find a 3-card poker table with
2 open seats.
2 open seats, right? Yeah. So we come across a craps table. And there's 2 spots open there at this craps table. So I was like, have you ever played craps? And he's like, no. Have you? I'm like, no. So we hang out at the craps table, and there's this young kid, and I'm like, hey, can you explain to me what's going on here?
And they're like, yes, because when the new people come up, craps people get excited about that.
Oh,
like
really?
I've been there before.
He was excited
I have
about
not played craps, but like my wife has been like, maybe I'll go, and she's done it before, but she doesn't remember it, And so there's always that person that is so happy to explain it to you, because I think that like beginner's luck is a big thing at craps. People just lose their mind and get excited and like, yes, I'll tell you what to do with your money.
Yeah. And that's what he was saying. He looks at the guy and he goes, listen, you just tell me where to put my money and I won't be mad if I lose it.
And that guy was like, his slide whistle started growing.
He was like real nervous, like he like concerned that like no, trust me. If I lose it, I came to the casino planning to lose money. It's okay. I'm not going to be upset.
The most balanced episode we've ever had, I feel like, because I feel like we've got two teams on the table and two cameras to show those teams. So I feel like we could just dig at you guys the whole episode.
That was terrible pun. That was.
Don't get me wrong.
I would say it's beneath you, but that level doesn't exist.
No. There's nothing beneath me.
Only thing
Sitting
beneath
at
us is
4-6.
the Penguins in the standings.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's fair. Crosby having a great season.
It was like 4 weeks ago. Everybody in here is like, stop winning. And like let's say 10% of the people are like, no, they're on a run. They're going to make a run. They're like, they're just ruining their draft pick. Like, even if they make a run, they can't take it.
After everything, we need draft picks. Really,
Yeah.
at this point, it's never going to get there.
Yeah, our team is 104 in sports
Seneca,
years.
outside opinion. Tell me this guy don't look like right now like a gross Boston version of Danny Zuko.
Everything from Boston is purpose.
I had to look up the name. I don't know if off the top of that head if that rings for you.
Danny Zuko
From Greece.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know what's up with your collar, dude.
Is it rolling over?
You got
Ever
like
since
this,
he can
like,
remember, he's been popping his collar.
Yeah, he's like got this
popping
New
his
England
collar.
Doctor Strange thing happening over there.
No, he's avoiding the wind, the cold winds of Boston.
Boston is absolutely cold.
Yeah, it's cold as
Frickin'
hell.
towny.
I've been there twice. I went there in
I know that from
March of 2019, and they just gotten 19 inches of snow the day before I got there.
First time anybody in Boston's gotten 19 inches, I'll tell you that. No. Oh, so I'm sorry. Seneca has taken 19 inches in Boston, apparently.
That's what I gathered from that comment.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, let's do a proper introduction. You remember how the pickle line burned down?
Yeah.
That's the guy.
No.
That's your fire watch during that experience. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was just before my time.
Oh yeah. No, he's the reason that you came into like, why does it smell like smoke in here?
I did not come in. I wasn't working there yet. Just for my time.
Afterward, it still smelled like smoke. You know what I mean? You came in and you're like, what the fuck?
Nice catch. Good job.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
All right.
It was good.
So Sam, how was your week?
I don't
Well,
know.
I'm sure we'll dive back into your evening
it's fine.
throughout
It's
the
fine.
day.
So, due to Officer Friendly continuously pulling me over repetitively because my vehicle was not in the most legal of statuses, long story, but I was not able to register my vehicle.
Just to clarify for everybody that doesn't know, Sam has essentially been driving like a soapbox car, like a downhill racer.
Oh yeah,
that was the best use for your vehicle.
Yeah, it was. It was a 2003 Yukon Denali, by the way. Let's just clear. Yeah, I got to get that out there. I had fun with that a couple times. The guys were like, "Yeah, you see my car?" I'm like, "I drive the Yukon Denali out there." And they're like, "Wait, where?" And they're like looking around for this nice thing. I'm like, "No, the green one with the giant bump in the hood from when it swung open 45 miles an hour." Hey, I got my money out of the car. But so I had to get a car,
Right.
and just the way the whole situation worked out, it was like, if I buy used, it's going to cost me the same as new because the rates are so broken right now. I get 1% on a new vehicle, or I could pay 15% on a used vehicle. So it's like, yeah, I'm just going to go with that.
We need to get we need to talk to Jeff because you need a vinyl. decal with your logo, or not logo, but like your website on it? Because it's a company vehicle, anyways, right? I'm sure.
We had that conversation yesterday. We were on the phone.
Is it going to say just the truck?
No, but it should.
You know you love it.
It should. It should.
Right.
But yeah, so that, and then had my 20-year class reunion yesterday, which was incredibly just awkward and exactly what I anticipated it would be. But
I got a new truck.
no, see, that's the thing. I don't want a new truck. I didn't want the truck at all. And it's a turbo 4-cylinder.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I got the mommy mobile. That's I told her, she's like, you hate it. Why are you getting it? I'm like, I'm getting it in blue.
See this?
Because you've always wanted a blue car. She's like, so what's that do for me? I was like, at the end of it, because we leased it for the first 3. I'm like, at the end of the 3, if we like the truck, we'll keep it. And that's your car. And I'll get a real truck. And she goes, oh, I like that. I'm like, yep. And perfect mommy mobile. Because she's always at the barn anyways.
Seneca, I just need you to see this. Good job. You bought a truck. That a boy.
That's not a truck.
That a boy.
That is not a truck.
That a boy.
Not even close. It looks like a truck, but it sounds like a car and it drives like that terrain. Like it's terrible.
What trim package did you get?
I have no idea.
The lowest probably.
I went up and I looked with the salesman. I was like, so they change anything in like suspension, drivetrain since 2018? He's like, well, oh yeah, they did that turbo 4-cylinder. All right, I'll drive it. He's like, what? I'm like, I'll take it for a test drive first. And he's like, wait, you aren't gonna? I'm like, it's a new car. Like it's gonna run like a new car. You know what I mean? They test drives are you're not looking used car. Yeah, you take it for a ride. You're listening. No, I'm just like, all right, yep, it drives. Okay. So I have no idea what the trim package is. None of it. I want to say it's a SLE, I think.
Okay.
Because I think the Pro is the bottom one, and then the SL.
I think it's the Pro, the SL, the SLE, the Custom. I forget where the Custom falls.
Yeah, they changed all that years. It used to be really easy. Did you get stuff on your truck? Yeah, it's a Denali. You didn't? It's not. They've complicated this far more than they needed to. But yeah, I got that. Had the reunion last night. Got out of here fairly late, and then sick dog at the house, and she's had a rough last week. So last night was spent just hanging out with her all night.
Did you have the reunion here?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's gotta be like not to say. I know you didn't enjoy this, right? But at least it was like, y'all are having the reunion at my joint. I win automatically. Like I am the reunion prom king.
Actually,
Give me my golden cowboy hat.
I think the best part of having it here was I asked Seneca if he'd cover the register so I could just, hang out. I just kind of like sat in that chair over there for a while by myself. I was like, it's nice to just not be social and just sit here quietly and do my own thing. I kept walking over. He's like, you good? I'm like, I hate this. And it's like, nobody did anything wrong. It wasn't like awkward. I'm making it awkward because I have to be socially on at all times.
How many people were here for that?
Oh, over half the class. So like 8.
Were they all
not exaggerating.
Finleyville?
Yeah, basically in Finleyville.
So were they all cousins of yours?
No. Finleyville, not Finleyburg.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you were close.
Cool.
But
so you're talking as soon as you said turbo 4-cylinder, it took me back to when my truck was in the shop and I had to have a rental, and it was a Taco.
Oh, okay.
And everyone's always like, I love my Tacoma, blah 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 blah. I got in that thing. It was like driving a Cavalier. It was so weird. It's like a car with a bed on the back. It was like driving a cab, like how I imagine driving a Honda Ridgeline would feel.
More like what's the mullet Subaru?
Oh, the Baja.
The Baja.
That was Shannon's dream car for a long
really?
time. Yellow Baja. Yeah, because it was like the present day incarnation of the El Camino.
Yeah, business in the front, party in the back.
Heck yeah. So
how was your week?
Had a great time last night. There wasn't anything special throughout the week. We did a fire last night, which was super cool because I needed to burn. Dude, all of my neighbors throw their wood from like the branches and stuff that fall in their yard over the winter. As soon as spring hits, it all just gets chucked into my yard, which I've instructed them to do. But man, we used to have a lot of fires. and we have not had one in a while. So I've got a bench swing in my backyard, and the top of that frame's at least 6 foot tall.
No, it's
And the
like
pot-
8, dude. I mean, that's way over my head.
Yeah, it's pretty
That's
tall.
it's like 8 foot.
To me, I just assume anything bigger than me is 6 foot tall. but that pile of brush behind it was easily like 18 inches over the top of that frame. Like
Oh,
there's
wow.
so much stuff. And I never even looked at my neighbor's yard. So my neighbor Paul, he's my Wilson from Home Improvement. You remember Wilson in the backyard? He's like he's retired age. He's a very nice guy. Talks a
Jen.
lot. And but we have one of those fences that has like I don't
Glory
know.
hole in it.
Well, sure. I mean, that'd be a big glory hole. No, it's like a 2-piece fence. It's like the very rough cut.
Yeah.
Just 2 pieces that go together. You could kind of easily take one out to cross over. And he always piles up his wood at the back and throws some stuff over. And I looked over, and there's just 2 rows of logs. I mean, like cut logs. You know what I mean? Like cut firewood. I'm like, ooh. And so I was like, we need to have a fire. So we had a fire last night because it was dry. It was great. I didn't put a dent in any of the wood. But, you know, it was a nice time. We enjoyed ourselves. I had to clean the gutters yesterday, which I've been putting off forever. But that was about it. It was nice. It was a rainy week. Didn't get to ride the bike or anything like that.
Yeah.
So. I tell you what we should talk about. Jason, get something out.
I was just going to say, I luckily don't have to clean my gutters.
Yeah.
Nothing falls in my gutters.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, that nothing should fall in my gutters because there are very few trees nearby, except for pine trees. But the wind is just a magical thing, dude. It carries stuff around.
Yeah,
It is
no,
leading house.
mine is completely surrounded with trees.
So let's talk about what RJ, Jason, and I are smoking, shall we?
It's time for the Cigar of the Week, brought to you by Leaning House Fine Cigars. The Leaning House is your destination for the ultimate cigar smoking experience. Whether you're exploring their wide selection of premium cigars, unwinding in their comfortable lounge, or enjoying live music on one of the most unique and intimate live music venues in the burg, the house has something for everyone. Do you want to try the stick we're smoking today? Stop by leaninghousefinecigars.com or visit Dave in Bell Vernon or Heidi in Brownsville. Wherever you are, make the house your home for premium cigars.
And if you can't be home, and let's say you needed to travel to Florida or Texas via vehicle, this is a cigar you should smoke on that drive. Today we are smoking the La Flor Dominicana Double Lajero Digger. That's right. The Digger is 8.5 by 60 ring gauge. This is a lot of cigar.
That's a
This
lot of
is
60 ring gauge. too.
Bad man pajama. I tell you what, back in the day, I smoked a little bit more larger ring gauge stuff, and this didn't seem so bad. I will tell you, it's still a little bigger than I would prefer it to be, but it's not bad.
There's a bit of mass there.
So the wrappers in Ecuadorian Sumatra, and of course Dominican binders and fillers, as the name would suggest, right?
Indeed.
So this actually got a cool story behind it. I was hoping last night when I was doing the notes to find like where the origin of this cigar came from. It's not always easy to find about cigar stuff online, but in this case I did. So the story goes that somebody nicknamed Digger, who frequents Old Town Tobacconists in Fredericksburg, Virginia, wanted a much longer LFD DL700. He was absolutely in love with the DL700, but wanted it to be roughly 2 inches longer. So one day while Lido Gomez of LFD was passing through the shop, Digger got to sit down and chat with him and express his interest in the cigar, saying, "Your DL700 is the best cigar I've ever smoked. Only trouble is, for my taste, it's about 2 inches too short." I've heard that many times. I don't know about you else. Yeah.
Yeah. Story of my life.
Very common, yeah. And so essentially he said, "I'd like to see it 2 inches longer." Well, within a few weeks later, Old Town Tobacconists got their LFD order in, and there was a box of cigars just for Digger, the DL700, only they were almost 9 inches long. Word travels fast, and soon enough, Lido Gomez decided to make a limited production of these special cigars, calling them the Digger in honor of the man that requested them initially. So that's where this comes from.
Nice.
And if you're not a cigar geek, this is a rite of passage because this was like in the day when there were no other ridiculously
there's nothing like
gigantic
it.
cigars. This was the one. So when you're like rolling through and you're like LFD, that's a reputable brand, and this cigar is massive and it's not priced out. Like it's not, we normally smoke anything from Leaning House is like 14 or 15 or under.
Correct.
Roughly, yeah.
So this is a lot of tobacco for that price range. But I've definitely grabbed this and been like, okay, I've got to drive like 6 hours somewhere. So I'm going to grab a couple of cigars and I'm like, this will probably get me through half the drive.
I'm going to lead the charge.
No, it gets you
this.
through most of it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of material. So initial thoughts, Jason and RJ, being the first time you've smoked this.
Well, this is interesting because when I first started smoking cigars, something this size would have been what I would have gone for.
Because that's
right. I wanted
what you're used to.
I wanted a big old chonger, and I wanted to sit there and puff on it all day. Now, this isn't me.
No.
This is not for me. I like it. It's a decent cigar so far. I am only about a quarter of the way through it.
Oh,
really?
yeah.
No, you're not. You'd be a quarter way through it if it was a normal cigar.
Yeah, it's not gonna. It's
That's
gonna
not a
slow down,
quarter.
bud.
All right. Well, I'm into it.
Yeah.
I'll give you 15 to 20%.
I've experienced it a little bit. I would like it smaller. That I would buy this again if it
He
were
wants the
smaller.
Corey
cigar.
version. Good luck. Good news for you. Next week, we are smoking the LFD Double Lajero Chiselito.
The little
And
guy.
the smallest version of this cigar that they make, which my thought was like, how cool would it be to smoke these back to back and just the
back.
craziest different sizes to see how much of a difference that makes.
I'm curious about the Chiselito because I've never done the smaller one. I've just done this one, and I'm like, that one's gonna be peppy.
He's a girth queen.
I'm curious because like it's been a long time since I smoked that. And I'm really, really glad that RJ's here and he gets to smoke it for me so that I don't
It's
have
not bad
to.
at all.
He works with us. He has no gag reflex. He's fine.
Yeah.
I've been there far longer than these two both, so
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm run through and worn out.
His throat is as numb as his knees are. So yeah.
That was
What do you think?
It's wonderful, honestly. But like I said, I think I'll get sick of it.
Yeah. Before you're done, which
Maybe
is
about-
cool
by
because
about
like,
here.
at least you're not gonna hit the end of it and be like, man, I wish I had more of this.
Yeah, that's that. You're not gonna have that problem. with this one.
I guarantee you I'm not going to say that.
Yeah, I would be about where you guys are now and be like, okay, I'm good. I got what I wanted out of it.
Well, I was having a hard time. I was having to draw on it consistently at the beginning.
Yeah,
and
I had
I
to-
noticed the same thing with you. You had to relight it a couple times, but in the beginning, if you let that thing sit for about 10, 20 seconds, maybe a minute, it was going out.
Yeah.
Or at least flirting with it.
Wow. Yeah. You guys did struggle a little bit, but that's, because of the size of it, you can't get the thing warm.
Yeah,
Because
Yeah,
there's so much of it.
Yeah, combustion is a necessary part. Thank you, sir.
It does play a role in the whole cigar smoking experience.
So I'm actually impressed because these days I know how to smoke properly.
Mm-hmm.
Like back in the day when I would have first grabbed one of these
Chiefing.
guys.
Just
Yeah.
chiefing it.
Yeah, because like you're like, oh, this is just gonna be like anything. It's just more of it. No, it's gonna be. If you take this cigar too quickly, you're gonna be in trouble. And that was kind of the hope, was that Jason would grab a hold of this and just start freaking
Oh.
sucking on it like
Poof,
it was
poof.
RJ's, bazangalang. And I had to make something up. You know what I mean?
My
I just-
ding-a-ling, won't you play with my...
And he's wiping his mouth off.
Hell yeah.
I almost spit my coffee onto the windscreen on this
Nice.
microphone.
And that's why I don't drink scotch on the show anymore.
I have an initiation for RJ. I would like you to. Sorry, that was a little much. I didn't realize.
I don't even drink tequila.
Yeah,
at
you do
all.
now. Here
I
you go.
hate tequila.
This is smooth. It's gonna be fine. You're gonna love it. Man.
RJ.
It's gonna put you in the right mind space.
I drink
for
bourbon.
a pod.
You lucky bastard.
This is super clean. So if you know
No tequila is clean
if
to
you
me.
know how to
You
take a
won't hate
shot,
it. It won't
if
be
you
bad.
know how to take a shot, this is gonna be.
I'm
enough.
just gonna slam it back.
That's
That's what
right.
it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Yep. You know how to breathe through your nose afterwards.
I don't take shots.
Breathe through your nose, not your mouth.
Relax
And
the
then
throat
burn's
and don't
gone.
forget to cup the balls.
He's got that part down.
Yeah,
I promise
that's-
you that.
I need
Oh,
two
yeah.
hands to take the shot then? Is that what you're saying?
However,
Do it.
I figured you just use the pinky.
Welcome to the show, buddy.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Cigar Life.
Great.
Salu.
Huh? I call that breakfast.
Ugh.
It's not as bad as you thought it was going to be.
No, but
It's still a
Not
little
good.
aggressive for 9 o'clock in the morning, maybe.
Slightly.
It's 10.
Is it? Is it that late?
Yeah,
already?
it's
Well,
Yeah,
we've
Look at us
been
go.
going.
you can't
All right.
drink all day if you don't start early.
That's it.
Right.
So I know you guys will enjoy this. So I had a buddy over yesterday.
Was he a good buddy?
Pre-fire. It's the greatest buddy.
You know what the
10-4, good
difference
buddy.
is?
You-
You know what
oh,
the
yes.
difference between a buddy and a good buddy is, right?
Give it.
Good buddy gets 2 blowjobs. He gives you 1.
That's right. He definitely would. No, Dan's the best kind of friend you can have. He's a mechanic. So he has a lot of friends. But he's like one of the nicest, most generous human beings ever. But I was like, hey man, we got on some conversation and I was like, I need to introduce you to the magical, mythical Corey Corn.
Oh.
And so I showed him the 4 minutes of video, which if you have not watched the video of that episode, man,
It's not a peepee. It's not a peepee.
It's
It's
not
not
a
a peepee.
peepee.
It's not a
It's not a
peepee.
peepee.
It's not a peepee.
Something tells me that RJ.
I mean,
needs to be
he can
introduced.
reach it from right there. We can have a repeat. I'm fine with it. I don't mind at all.
If I was going to do it ever again for any reason, we could do it for RJ.
No, if you're doing it again, you're doing it next time Sokka's on the show, and it's staying on the whole time.
Well, I mean, that's a lot of if and whens. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's essentially what the show sounded like for 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah.
But you missed the buildup.
Oh yeah.
So he's been trying to coax me for years to put a rainbow
Dildo. Just say
themed,
dildo. Yeah.
but a suction cup on. He's like,
Yep.
we need to put one on your head and play ring toss. And it's like, maybe someday. And so like, there's a whole buildup.
Well,
of-
you even tried
of-
to get out of it by
he
bringing
was
the
like,
antlers in.
Close. Yes, I did. So at Christmas time, my son got this one of those $5 white elephant exchanges. He had an inflatable reindeer rack that came with rings for tossing. So I brought that on the show, thinking like, okay, I'm good, I'm out of this. And so the one day he's like, all right, I got something, and he tries to come up behind me. He's like, close your eyes, and I'm like, I'm not gonna close my eyes. And finally, I'm like, all right, fine, I will. But I knew better, so I closed my eyes and covered my head. And for like 30 seconds straight, you just hear Jason, it's not a pee-pee. It's not a pee-pee.
He's so
It's not a
excited. He's like, it's not a peepee. It's not a peepee. It's not a peepee. It's not a peepee.
Well, because Sam had sent me a text message the night before, and he was like, "Oh, look what I got." And I'm looking at this text message. I'm like, "What the? Oh my god, this is gonna be." I said, "Are those suction cups?" He goes, "Yeah."
You keep
Oh,
them
he's
in the
got them.
drawer. Oh my goodness!
Oh, my.
Now you guys could be real Bruins fans.
Dude,
You might never get those apart.
Might.
That's got the enchantment of Odin himself.
You can have the hot dog.
Oh, I'll take the hot dog.
I started with the hot dog.
Hot dog versus chicken.
That's right.
Move it over about 4 inches. So there you go. Just
There
kind
we
of block
go.
the logo.
And I got. Oh, he's peeking up over the
You can only see just the tip.
just the tip.
You haven't breakfast. You know what? That's what this guy needs back behind you is a silly sausage.
You know, I tried putting it on there a couple times. I need to
Yeah.
get like a way to actually like hang it on there because I'll hang it right off of like the sword or something. Yeah.
You know what? We forgot to do the call to arms. We
Call to
should-
action.
You're
No,
right,
no, no,
man.
no, no. Call to arms is so much cooler.
Yeah, but call to arms is like federal indictment. So let's do call to action.
I'm not asking people to take up their
You're
rubber
inciting
chickens in
violence.
battle. Man, you sound like a Democrat.
Easy.
Remember when he told you don't go into politics at all?
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, that's the second time I almost spit my coffee out of my mouth.
Yay.
Remember, if you're listening to this, or better off, if you're watching it, you are the Cigar Junkies, and this show is still going because of your incredible support. Of course, not monetarily. We would take your money if you want to give it to us. However, in lieu of money, what you can do is you can go to the cigarjunkies.com and you can check out everything that we have on every platform. You know, RJ, if you went to the cigarjunkies.com, it's the little thing floating around on the screen. You can't see that, but that's a little fast. I don't know. I don't know if our listeners are going to be able to track that.
They
you can get
noticed that.
yourself a sweet T-shirt. You could have the skull logo. You could have the face logo, like Sam's got on there.
I want nothing with your face on my body.
Yeah, it's fair. That's fair. There've been a lot of moments where that's been a really handy conversation starter, though. We'll get to that later on. But you can like, subscribe, and share on every platform because it helps us out. And in addition to that, you should be giving us the old thumbs up, and you can comment. Comments are super useful. Sam tells me. That's what I'm told. Comments are great,
helpful.
you know. So do that as much as you can, and share the Junkies gospel.
Yes,
that's the most important thing.
We come here every Sunday morning to preach.
Well, not every time, but as long as we're not too wore out from the night before.
To preach at the altar of cigars, and
I still say we could get tax exemption if we all banded together. You know what I mean?
The Junkies religion.
Oh, that sounds like the worst.
Branding on that would be so impossibly.
But you'd finally get to use your syringe patches that you wanted to put out.
He came up with it again. Like it wasn't that bad of an idea. He created it as well.
Screw it, man. Let's mainline God.
I might not be against it if it just had the face logo on the syringe and it said, "Have you been inoculated?" Something like that. That'd be okay. Yeah.
So now it's okay.
Embrace your
now
concept.
It's okay.
I'm trying to.
No, now that I've embraced that it's not okay. Now you're gonna try and make it a thing. Wow, I see how it is. I get it now.
Can you put that
syringes
over my head with all the the trigonometry? Like, because I'm trying to figure out what just happened here. Because I was trying to be supportive it didn't work.
You should know he always flips it on.
Yeah, 100% flip the script. Like that's it.
But I embrace the other side. You know what I mean? And we can go ahead and let's get a tent pull out of the way, shall we?
Ooh.
We talk about the cigar news, to which we have no button for.
Yes, as we know from the last 9 episodes.
Wait, watch this.
It's time for the cigar news.
New.
It is. Not the news, the new. What's new, kids? What's new in the cigar world?
What's new, pussycat?
Whoa. Wow. That was
that really worked. It was weird.
It was like out of nowhere.
I was okay to sit that one out though.
That's all right. Jason's loud enough for all four.
You
of us.
need some more tequilas, which you need. That's all I heard.
Tequila.
All right, I try to keep it short and sweet. We're trying to cover the new $8,000 ST DuPonts and all that happy stuff. At the 2024 Premium Cigar Association Trade Show, the AJ Fernandez Company showcased the new AJ Fernandez 20th anniversary. The cigar commemorates 20 years of the AJ Fernandez line of cigars, which kind of makes sense if you read the name of the cigar. Really, I mean, it's spot on. 2 decades of dedication. The 20th anniversary line has 2 limited edition offerings. The first is a 6x56 Toro packaged in an elegant 20-count piano finish box. A total of 7,500 boxes will be produced for this offering. See, I mean, even the verbiage sounds very religious, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. That tax exemption's right around the corner. I can feel it. The second is a 6 3/4 by 54 Bellicoso. This will be offered as a special commemorative humidor with 50 cigars. Total of 250 humidors have been made. There's no price tag listed, and generally my feeling is it's very much like Super Troopers Beer Fest. If you have to ask, you can't afford it.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what I assume.
They
don't put out the price.
He's usually pretty friendly about it.
Yeah, but 50 count humidors, especially when they give you the price of the 20 count, you're going to be in for something on the other side.
It's not going to feel great.
Yeah, probably not. Toscano Cigars showcased the Toscano Italia. Toscano is known for using Kentucky fire-cured tobaccos grown in the United States and Italy. I don't know how it's Kentucky fire-cured in Italy, but hey, the Toscano Italia is different in that all of the tobaccos in the blend originate from Italy. Specifically, the tobaccos come from the regions of, I thought Spanish was hard, Valtabarina, Tuscany, and Benevento, Campania. Valabittarina, that's a lot of syllables. Tobacco.
I love how you just switch the order of letters when you read foreign words. It cracks me up.
For sure. They got to Google it now. You know what I mean?
No, they can't even Google it because you said it so wrong. Like your letters weren't and the sounds weren't where they were supposed to be.
Let me help you guys.
I called it Vatbarina. Meanwhile, it was Buena Vesta.
Yeah.
If you ever have trouble with the words that I'm saying in the cigar news, you could do yourself an easy solid and go to cigarcoop.com and check out the news because that's usually where I hijack this segment.
Not a sponsored spot.
Nah, but Cigar Coop's a decent dude. I'm down with supporting him, especially since we've been ripping him off for all this time. All right. The tobacco is used for the wrapper and is a small component of the filler. Meanwhile, the other tobacco makes up the majority of the filler. The Italia comes in one size, a 6 3/10, that's a size, by 46 Perfecto. The cigars are packaged in 30-count boxes and retails for $7 a pop. That's actually not bad.
No, not at all.
If you've never had anything from Toscano, the Fire Cured offers one huge benefit other than a fantastic taste, and that is that cigar does not need to be humidified. I was going to say humidified, but then he grabbed...
Okay, I was like, what happened there? And also what happened there?
Yeah. That's what happened here was what happened there.
Walked by and grabbed my man booby.
He put a little poo on your patch.
I think he's up half a cup.
That's what he did.
So it's pretty good. So what's cool about it is they don't need to be humidified, which is cool because you could grab a 5-pack of Toscanos and throw them in your glove compartment, and that could be your emergency cigar. And if you only have one and there's a friend and they want a cigar too, you cut that bad boy in half and
But
share
not if you get them out of the 5-pack.
Or
like the way the order you said
or
that.
if you happen to be Jason and RJ, you could just each puff from one side at the same time.
Could we light the middle?
Yeah, I think we could figure that out.
Grab me a
Tramp
Toscano.
cigar.
They call that the Double Dong Toscano. So I think you guys would enjoy that incredibly. All right, so we don't normally cover new alcohol releases. Okay, you
keep
hold
going.
that up.
Keep going. I got some
Oh,
stuff happening here.
Is that a knife?
This not a knife.
All right,
This is a knife.
blackened whiskey. You ever hear of blackened?
Like the Metallica song?
Yeah.
It's Metallica's whiskey.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's why I love this, because the pun in the name is fantastic. Has announced the release of the 2024 edition of their rye. Guess what it's called, Jason? What is Metallica's rye called?
I'll bet you it would be called.
You have the show notes.
I bet you I know.
way over there.
I'd like
don't
to
look.
guess it.
Yeah, go ahead,
Is
RJ.
it Ride the Lightning?
It's Rye the Lightning.
Rye the Lightning.
Haha.
It is. It is Rye the Lightning. It sure is. Inspired by Metallica's 6 times platinum sophomore album, Ride the Lightning, created by master distiller and blender Rob Diedrich, the limited edition follows the 2022 edition of Ride the Lightning. So,
Don't worry about this. Don't just keep going. Don't.
I'm not going to have to snort this, am I?
Oh,
You could just use a. Are you
I don't
cutting
think you're
a little
involved.
spot for them to light it?
I don't think you're involved.
I am happy to not be included in this
how am I-
process.
I didn't agree to this.
Yeah, you did.
I also did not agree to have a hot dog and a chicken on my head. It just happened.
It could have been worse than a hot
Facts.
dog and a chicken.
You do what you got to do for the show. And guess what?
I'll say it. You
Your
know what?
card just got pulled, buddy. You're about to do something for content. So get that button ready on the old Stream Deck. Oh, wait, that
So,
doesn't work for video.
We're going to make an attempt here.
It looks like a Toscano bong.
So that little guy there is going to be where these gentlemen are going to attempt to light this Toscano.
We're going to find
I
out
wanna
just
let-
how close
you
you guys
guys-
got last night.
You gentlemen are going to Lady and the Tramp this cigar.
I regret bringing up that idea.
Can we
I
need to
apologize for
trademark
this.
before we put the episode up? Lady and tramping. That's got to be a thing. Or maybe just 2
Here.
tramps.
You know what? That is what I'm going to call this. I'm going to call the show "Lady and Tramping."
Maybe you should just call it Tramp and Tramp.
Oh my god.
You know what?
They're gonna do it.
I mean, I have to.
Sam, you have to light it for them. So let me. Okay, audio listeners, this is another time you're missing out by not going to YouTube and subscribing to the show. What we have here is a Toscano, which is essentially a mirrored cigar. It is the same on both ends. Sam has gone ahead and done a
Hack job.
he's done a Breaking Bad.
Listen.
He's cut a hole in the middle. This means nothing,
As
guys.
you possibly can to burn it and pull it apart.
This is gonna be a good time, guys. I just can't believe this is not like it's finally not me. You know what I mean? That's the best part of this. It's finally someone else's turn. Listen, he even did you a favor and turned his hat around
took
so
mine
he
off.
wouldn't bump his on your forehead.
He's got the scally cap. I'm gonna.
Yeah, that way if we touch foreheads, there's some.
RJ, if you need a barber, can I recommend House of Feruza in Bethel Park? Third generation, awesome barbershop. You really like it. I don't know if it's non-heterosexual men.
Last night, this is where we'd be.
I don't think we'd be here again.
I can't. I'm sure this has got to be more PG than what happened last night.
We're gonna sword fight while we do it.
All right, we let's get into it.
Hey, is this how you guys saw your morning going today?
Absolutely not.
No, good. No.
Hey,
I'm sorry,
Jason,
Mom.
you'll understand this reference. Sam
I'd
won't.
say sorry, Mom, but I can't.
Clerks too.
Oh.
Better crossing their fingers. We better cross something else too.
Balls too.
Well, not that, but yeah.
That hurts.
All right, junkie,
We'll find out.
assemble.
All right, so we're holding it up. Jason instinctively moves his head forward.
Yeah, but it was the
Head
subtle,
forward, eyes closed.
beautiful lean that he gave that just got him.
Oh yeah, Jason's got that.
I could have tilted my head and gave you some
I would have put this in your mouth.
So they're about to puff on the cigar from two sides.
Ryan missed the whole thing.
All right, so Jason leans his head in instinctively, like here we go again. I've been here before.
We got the
All right.
turn,
Yeah, this is romantic as hell, guys. This is one, and it's working. They're getting the smoke. This is so romantic. Your females
Turn
are.
it so that the cherry is towards the camera.
Oh, he rubbed his
Rub it
chicken
with his
on his
chicken.
beard. Oh, jeez. No. You have to keep. Here's the rule.
Get back.
You guys have to puff until the cigar separates naturally.
Get the fuck back over here.
Can we
is so
rotate
much
so we
smoke.
can get the
This
cherry
is-
this way?
All right, so this is the cure for a hangover. You guys are getting there. You keep puffing. That's gonna
Yeah.
pull apart.
You guys look experienced at this.
This is not
Oh,
their
oh.
first time
Oh,
at all.
look.
Nobody's cupping.
Where's the cuppage?
Oh!
Oh,
RJ,
it's so hot. So hot.
Incredible.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah.
I gotta tell you, that was hot. I'm gonna play this later before I go to bed.
Set the fire alarm off.
Coffee's done.
I'm gonna need a coffee after that.
I'm gonna need a cigarette.
Why do I have 2 cigars now? And
Because the digger wasn't big enough.
No, I know what it's like on the other end. This is pretty good.
Yeah,
It's nice to be on the other side. It's nice to be. I like how RJ
I can't believe I did
was
that.
just puffing so hard. He's like, this needs to be over as quick as possible. He's like, I'll do it by myself.
And the whole time
I was trying so hard not to cough and blow the whole cigar into Jason's mouth.
Oh, that would have been content
Oh,
right
no.
there. You missed the boat.
Oh, you
He
guys missed the
tried
opportunity to
so
like blow
hard.
it into his mouth. Oh, we're gonna need another one.
No, don't you dare. You stay seated.
So you were talking about Toscanas and how you can share them with a friend.
You
Oh, wow,
can
we just-
share them with a friend. We just found another way.
Let's-
If you do not have a cutter, guys,
yeah, you could just burn it.
we have found a new method. If
like-
you don't have a cutter, just get a friend to puff on the other end.
Puffing them.
While you burn it apart.
magic
You know what I
Toscano,
Wow.
I like to be more
and
snap in half.
You know
This
how,
needs to be over.
how you know what I just realized? Eric just missed the most exciting episode of his life. Eric
You know,
is missing something here.
as we were lighting that, and Eric, if you're listening, buddy, you know I love you. You do. You know I love you. But I was like, man, I'm so fucking glad he's not here. Here's your quarter. Here's your quarter.
Oh, Basic Instinct. Or was that Basic? What movie was that where the chicks kiss and there's like the slobber freaking line between?
Oh.
There you go, boys. That was.
I don't know, but whatever that is, I need to watch it.
There's,
You watched it at some point.
There's one with the chicks doing the double dong. It's
Yeah, it's all over the internet.
Well, I mean, yeah, for sure. But I mean, this was like a legit movie that they did this in, and I can't remember. I don't think it was Neve Campbell. I think it was Demi Moore, I think.
Showgirls?
I'm intrigued.
I don't know. No, it was like a movie about drug addiction. I think it was Jared Leto was in the movie with her.
Oh, I didn't.
And they were like, there was dollars all over the place. Probably very much the way you guys finished your evening last night, with the rest of the Bruins fans just throwing ones on you. That's how I imagine.
What was funny is as we were leaving, like walking out, like all the Bruins, like
who won?
the Bruins won,
Bruins won.
6-4.
Oh
Y'all
yeah,
messed
dude,
it.
it wasn't even a game. Like the Penguins tried to act like it
Here's
4
the thing.
times, but
The Penguins have not been doing like the bestest this year, but Crosby's having a year, dude.
Oh,
Crosby scored 40 goals this year, right?
I don't know. I don't know if he's at
pretty
40. He moved
sure.
it into top 10 in points all time. Now.
Yeah.
He's
1,000 assists.
Crosby's an animal.
Yeah.
And it's kind of it's wild because he's like, all right, the rest of the team ain't doing it. It's either the whole team or it's Crosby by himself. He's like, if you guys aren't going to do it, get on my back.
Well, what was
it was
funny
very much like RJ said to Jason last night.
is we're sitting there, and like I said, we had second row seats, and I at one point in time I turned and looked at him, and I was like, Crosby is such a fast skater.
Yeah.
He's
you
an
don't
old man, dude.
you don't
And-
realize
and-
it. But sitting down, and I've watched him on television and watched Penguins games. Like, man, Crosby's fast.
Oh,
But sitting down on the ice and being a hockey player myself and watching him skate that close, I was like, he is lightning. God, he is lightning.
oh.
well, people don't appreciate how big a hockey rink is when you're watching on TV. It looks like they're just going like this. Then no, they're just that fast. Like
Yeah, it's a very fast. Like the number of times in the oil field, right? The oil field is composed mostly of people from southern U.S., right? Like Oklahoma, Texas. The number of guys that have come up here for work whenever the boom hit Pennsylvania, that were like, I still probably couldn't watch hockey on TV, but that was the craziest live sports event I've ever been to. Was a hockey game. I couldn't believe how crazy a hockey game is to watch in person. Like, you don't know until you do it.
You have to go to one in Vegas if you want to see a
That would
crazy
be dope.
hockey game.
I'd be down with
I've
that.
been to 2 in
Flurry's
Vegas.
not
It's-
there no more.
No, but I was there for Flurry's last game in Vegas. They beat the Avalanche in 2021.
All right, so
Amazing.
I'm going to turn the mic and camera over to Sam for a moment because I have a question that's going to be appropriate here. And you guys have had your spotlight, and you'll have another opportunity,
Real quick,
both of you.
flavor wise, what'd you guys think of the Toscano? Since you did
There you go.
just rapid. I just
did
want to cover
enjoy
that.
it.
Doubling
one.
up.
It was really strong, really fast.
Yeah.
He was like, it reminded
Yeah,
me
they are
of my
like,
time as a choir boy at the Catholic Church.
Right. I said no religion either.
Yeah.
That's okay.
That was in the ground rules.
Yeah.
I break the rules, baby. That's what they're made for.
Have some
Made to
more
be
tequila.
broken. I ain't gonna.
I'm just amazed all my quotas
Before
are
I
still
do,
Remember the whole inciting
while
violence
I
thing?
pour, Sam, what is your
Yes.
favorite sport?
To play or to watch?
I would not to participate in, but to observe.
None.
Do you don't? If
I
you
don't
had to
watch-
pick one,
None.
okay, then what's your favorite to play and why, and how did that start for you?
I was into BMX a lot in like middle school and all that, like BMX racing and all.
Let's
like,
specify a sport with like a ball or
I would
I would like
call
one of the big
BMX a
ones.
sport.
Okay, but
Absolutely, especially in southwestern Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
you don't have like a sport.
do
Like I get
what,
that's a
What
physical
about me
sport.
strikes you as a team player?
I didn't say anything did. I was just curious. I was trying to generate some
No,
conversation.
yeah,
Wait a minute. Would you consider fighting a sport?
Don't get me wrong.
boxing.
All of those things are definitely a sport. My
He's not acting.
my mentality when I generated the question
Mm.
was things that involve a ball or a puck.
Okay, you
I
should
thought those were the options. I
Um,
didn't
have
see
said
this coming.
cricket.
Hey, I mean,
I don't know enough about it to even
Billiards.
say anything beyond cricket.
Bowling.
Bowling? No, not
Hey,
bowling.
you did not respond to that properly at all. Come on, say the line.
Squash.
I'm not a cricket bro.
There you go.
It's been a minute since we brought that one up.
It's 'cause
that's some
I don't work the
OG junkie.
soundboard and I don't work the soundboard anymore, so I don't have the cricket button.
But yeah,
So BMX,
It's way
all right?
over there.
I would say, yeah, BMX was like, that was my thing. And then age hit and falling hurts more. So now it's cycling. But
All right.
I would say, I mean, I played soccer, but that's because that's the only sport my school had.
RJ, you're partial, obviously, to hockey in some ways. Is that the one?
Hockey's number one by far.
So why?
So
Where did that start for you, as a kid, or whatever?
So my uncle got my brother into it, and he was out back, and my brother was just messing around with a ball and a stick on the. In my
And you were
parents'
just
driveway.
jealous because you weren't the favorite of your uncle?
Pretty much.
Okay.
So I kind of figured out how to pick one up and really enjoyed it, and just kept going from there. And I've done it ever since.
Jason, as the other dirty ass Bruins fan,
It's hockey and golf.
okay,
100%.
give me where it started for each and why.
Oh, hockey. Hockey. We started when I was in grade school. That we just played street hockey constantly. Every day we played street hockey. And then in the wintertime, there was a creek that separated my house and my buddy's house.
Mm-hmm.
And back then it was a lot colder in the winter.
In the wintertime, it was a connective bridge. It was like a Toscano.
It was like a Toscano. What's funny is I used to walk over a little footbridge to get to his house. But we would play hockey on the frozen creek in the winter times. And it was fun because we'd go out there the day before with buckets of water and brooms, and we would
Clean it up.
prepare the
Zamboni.
ice and clean it. Yeah, we would basically Zamboni the ice with brooms and a couple 5-gallon buckets of water, and our buddy's dad built us a like galvanized pipe hockey net that we would stick in the creek in October. So in
It's frozen in place.
November and December, it was frozen. And that is how my buddy Scott ended up with 14 stitches in the back of his head. Because when you get checked into that thing and you're not out there,
It's
wearing
not
helmets,
moving.
It ain't going anywhere.
That's I had a friend of mine growing up that he built his own hockey rink next to his house. And I mean, he did like, I'd say probably 12 by 12, just big enough for him to practice moving around on. And the amount of work and effort he put into this thing was just amazing to me. He made his own Zamboni, like all of it, a push broom with a hose through it and rags wrapped around it for water feed, and like went freaking all out on it. It was. I just
Best
remember
part of
coming over and being
Deadpool,
like, "Wait, what?"
By the way,
Well, oh yeah,
the
Now
best part of that movie was like, "You're about to get killed by a Zamboni."
very slowly.
The crazy part about it now is like synthetic ice.
It's amazing.
Oh yeah.
It's
Oh, really?
amazing.
You know who just got that? Our T-shirt maker, Amber.
Mm-hmm.
They got that for their son. It's a hockey player, and so they got like the strip of it where he can like hit the puck over to one side and it shoots back to him.
I had one of those.
And he takes a shot. I just saw it on Facebook like yesterday or this morning. It's pretty
My
dope.
brother and
man.
I destroyed my
That's what
parents'
that
group.
T-shirt money will get you.
There's a guy I knew out in Wyoming who had a barn and his kids were into hockey.
He froze the barn.
He didn't freeze it. He put synthetic ice in the barn.
Ooh.
The entire floor of that barn was synthetic ice. And these kids were skating around on this synthetic ice like lightning.
I've
was
never
like, is
heard
it
of synthetic
Like
ice.
it was Tampa Bay.
Oh yeah, it's just this. It's
Because their
like
team's
3
called the
foot by
Lightning.
3 foot like
Like
puzzle
tiles,
squares,
yeah.
tiles that they put together, and it just you make an ice rink with it. And the technology in it now is the guys are like, oh, it skates just like ice.
So I
It's
You wear regular skates on it.
Yeah.
regular hockey, regular
I mean,
ice skates.
Yeah.
How
They
long does
have
it
a-
last? Because like you're cutting the ice. That's how you move.
It lasts a surprisingly long time.
That's crazy
unlike
to
me.
They have synthetic ice treadmills for like NHL players where you like strap in and you're on a treadmill that's ice and you skate as fast as you can.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I seen the dog treadmills. I'm like, maybe we should get one of them for stuff.
What,
Yeah.
Yeah.
dude? That's just you blew my mind. Like this is a thing. This is real.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. If my son would have stuck with hockey, my garage would be the floor of it would be synthetic ice.
I really like the name we gave this episode, which is the Black and Gold Diggers, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, So I don't care enough to change the name of the episode, but if we had to trademark what we just made those two do on camera, I think we should call that method of smoking the Toscano the Zambroni.
Zambroni.
Yep.
I think that's it. I think if you
100%.
go on like urbandictionary.com and go, what's a Zambroni? That's what's going to come up.
Just a picture of me and RJ
Yes.
sucking on each end of this.
That's right.
As fast as possible.
Hey, that's cheating. Put that one down and go back to the digger. There you go. All right, fair enough. You could do two at once. Hey, look at you. You're a pro.
Do the same thing.
Double fisting.
It doesn't fit.
It looks like you've got RJ on one side and me on the other. Oh, yeah, good times.
Cruel Intentions was the name of the movie I was trying to think of earlier.
No, what was best was the teen movie where they
made fun of
jacked
it.
on it,
Yep.
and she was like, the girl comes up and she's like, I want to take a dump on somebody's chest, and like her stepbrother ended up being the one. You don't
Oh,
remember
no
that?
step, bro.
No, I
He,
don't
he,
remember
he,
that
was,
part.
he was not. So the girl that was like this, was that Sarah Michelle Gellar in
Yeah.
Intentions? Yeah. It was like they had this really jacked up relationship, right? And she was like going up to everybody like they'd get into it. And she's like, I just want to take a dump on your chest. And then like everybody would be scared away until finally her stepbrother was like, that's all I ever wanted, or something like that. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think I've seen that clip on TikTok, but
Yeah.
no more than that.
It's like 99 or 2000. It's been around.
It was like the not a teen movie original.
Oh,
one.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
When the spoof movies were all the rage.
Oh yeah.
Like Scary
Scary movie.
Yes. Okay, can we talk about how Jason shattered my dreams this week for movies that I thought were upcoming?
Oh yeah.
The internet got me apparently, and Jason came in and just destroyed my soul.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
Do you think the Power Rangers movie was going to happen?
No, I'm sure one of those will happen. No, I
No,
thought
the trailer was
I
awesome.
thought Back to the Future 4 was a real thing.
Oh.
I was so excited. I was like, that's so brilliant, because Michael J. Fox is just like, a professor or somewhere like teaching kids about, and they're talking about like if time travel was possible. It's very convincing. And I was like, I am down for this, dude. Like Tom Holland,
Yeah.
who I assumed was supposed to be Marty's son,
Mm-hmm.
which is like, bang, incredible.
Yeah.
Plus is like, okay, because you're getting two things there, right? It's another Back to the Future, and maybe also it's live action Rick and Morty. You know what I mean? Two things could be true.
Yeah, that's actually
I was so
basically what it would
excited,
be.
dude. Because you got like you got the new Ghostbusters movie and all the other stuff happening. And I was like, yes, we're
But
going
but
back.
here's the dark part of that. Do you know why he was excited about Back to the Future 4?
There's a dark part.
why.
He saw a trailer for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
AI
what I
generated
said.
It
trailer.
was entirely
Yeah.
AI
I'd
generated.
say yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Them headphones must not pick up everything. You know what I
I
mean?
didn't hear you say it either.
No,
No.
no.
I mean, I know you said you saw a trailer, but I didn't know.
Yeah, I was like, he crushed my dreams. He's like, that's AI.
Yep.
I was
Was
very
AI.
sad.
And that led us into a topic of conversation that, like, can you imagine if it's starting to get that good? AI's only been a
It's
thing
infancy.
for
Yo.
it's only been a thing for a couple of years at most. So imagine where AI generated video content is going to be in a decade. In 10 years' time,
yeah.
you're going to be able to look at your device and be like, this is what I want to see. And
And it's gonna mostly be RJ and Jason sucking
will-
on us.
it will produce it for you.
Yeah.
100%.
The only problem
You're going to
with
be
that-
like, I want to watch Spaceballs where Danny DeVito is Dark Helmet.
Where
Yes.
Danny DeVito is Danny Zuko. Something I don't know.
Tell me
I'm
more.
just-
The problem is we won't all be able to talk about it because we'll have all seen different movies.
That's
And
correct.
that's what you want to do is talk about it. And it's like I didn't see the same thing you did. Now let's talk about something we can all have seen. And I know you haven't seen, and I'm assuming you haven't gotten to yet either. I just literally found out, which is incredible, because usually you know about stuff coming from a long way away, right? Like these days, you know about a project like 4 years before it happens, and it's probably going to get canceled before it ever gets there. The Amazon Prime Fallout series.
I started watching it.
I watched episode 1 only.
I haven't made it through the first episode.
Episode 1 only. Are you even aware of this project's existence?
Yes.
Have you watched any?
I've known about it for a
I'll
while.
say
Have you
we
watched any
talked
of
about
it?
it on the
Yeah.
show 2 months ago.
I've not watched. I don't have Prime
Just
Video.
don't listen to you guys.
I don't have
Really?
Prime
You don't
Video.
have Amazon Prime?
We have Prime.
Then you have Prime Video.
No, you don't. They separated
They separated
Prime Video. Yeah, so if you have Prime,
But you've seen The Boys, yes?
oh, of course I've seen the
Then
boys.
why don't you have the Prime Video?
because
because
they
waiting
just
for the next
separated it,
Boys?
not long ago.
All
And
a couple months ago?
they told
Okay.
you it was coming, but they didn't tell you that they were just going to charge your card and just add that on.
So you would have had to be like go out of your way to be like, no, I don't want this because I didn't. I was just like,
Yeah.
keep going as normal. I have Prime.
No,
Video.
yeah, I don't think we renewed it.
So for a first offering of a show, like it hits everything.
Yeah,
I'm like, this is incredibly like. Again, I only watched the first episode, but I'm like, you know how normally you watch some things and you have the outside perspective of really like how you going to do that. And there's a part where there's like this big battle that takes place, and there's no spoilers here. But like then they're walking away and there's all these like corpses laying on the ground. And I'm like, you gotta loot the corpses. I'm mad. And as soon as I say it, somebody bends down and like starts taking stuff off of a corpse. I'm like, all right.
You nailed it.
You got me.
You nailed
I'm
it.
in for this the whole way, dude. Like, and there's not like a focus on one person. There's a focus on a person pre-bomb life that's a ghoul later.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got like, then they go over to and like, okay, this is a new recruit on the Brotherhood of Steel.
Oh, golly.
Yo. And if you're
Here's-
lucky, you might get something from the Commonwealth for the real, like, bottom level of society people.
Well, from what I understand, it takes place in California.
I don't know if the whole thing does. I don't know. It's one episode.
So, okay, from like
but
I
that's
said,
one of the exciting ventures is like you could go back and like be like, okay, season 2, or like we want to start and show the beginning from because that's how all Fallout games start, right?
Mhm.
Is the bombs drop. And it's
War
like,
never changes.
you could just keep this going forever. So continue. I'm sorry, sir.
My question is, do they tell you how many years after?
Yes.
200.
219 or something like that.
All right.
Yeah. It like, don't get me wrong, it's probably not the perfect show for everybody, but if you've played a second of Fallout, it's incredible. And my wife knows nothing about the Fallout, and she was like, yeah, this is actually, I'm pretty interested. Like it's done in a very good way where the people that have played all this stuff, they've had everything other than like a game breaking bug where like somebody walks through a wall or something. Like it's missing the Bethesda jank.
Oh man, would that have been a funny little inclusion?
It might make it could still
Somebody
happen.
walking and then just like walking
if
in the
somebody
wall and then pop
clips
over.
through a wall or or a tree or something like that, that'd be a cool inclusion. I'd dig that.
My daughter's boyfriend has watched numerous episodes, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's really good." Blah blah blah. blah. And we just watched like the first one.
How many episodes are out?
I don't even know, but the first episode's a little long. It's a little over an hour.
Yeah.
Which is cool. But yeah, there's like 3 different perspectives I think they show you in the first episode, and I'm like, this is actually pretty
Nice.
excellent. Yeah, it's a good time.
I'm gonna have to stand up.
That's your homework.
You okay?
What did you do to him, RJ?
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, I was like, was it RJ? Was it the digger?
Ooh. Yeah.
What's going on here? So
So what
have no
what is your
camera
sport?
abilities. Okay, my sport is hockey. And the reason that I think my initial exposure, right, was when I was a kid, I would only spend like every other weekend at dad's house, right? Some parents were split before I even came to be. And so like I'm essentially like 6 years old or 5 years old or whatever. And my dad is super intensely watching the Stanley Cup playoffs and the finals. And so I remember that being a thing of like watching hockey with him. But the reason that hockey stuck with me above everything else, because I was a collector of like all cards and stuff, right? which most kids were back in like the 90s.
Yeah.
I collect cards.
Yeah, for
Still.
sure, dude. Right? Like you would know stuff just because you had that guy's card,
Mhm.
and you would talk yourself into being like, "This is a good player because I have that card." Because you want that card to be a good player, and but mostly the reason that hockey stuck with me as the favorite was because like the other sports, like football in particular, is not as bad as hockey, or I'm sorry, as baseball. Hard to watch because it's slow. Baseball is super slow to watch.
Sport made for radio.
And it's also hard to play. Like it's slow to play when you're bad at sports and they stick you out in like right field or something,
You're
like,
just like-
they did with me. Yeah. You're
Picking
just like,
dandelions.
Yep.
like these dandelions are pretty. Yeah. But hockey is the one sport that I could watch and not like my ADD wouldn't take over because it's quick, and there's only whistles when there's a stoppage of play or whatever. Whereas football and stuff, you've got like
Go stop.
your
Go stop. Go stop.
yeah.
That's
Go
exactly why.
stop.
I
But it's
don't
not
like
even
football.
go stop. It's more long. It's more,
It's
or
more
less
stop.
go for 10 seconds and then a minute and a half
Yeah.
of like the play clock and the replays. And then they're about to snap it, but then they call a time, whatever
Yeah.
it is. Like there's so much delay. And so that's why football games are so long. Is because it's so drawn out and that loses my attention. And even hockey, I would record it on my DVR and have the skip ahead 30-second button programmed into my remote. And you hit that button 4 times and you're instantly from stop of whistle back into playing because there were always 2 minutes of commercials. So if you hit that button 4 times, you were right back in the game watching it.
So that's like with the hockey cards. There's a thing I do every morning. It's called Puck Doku. It's Sudoku for hockey, where like you can have 3 teams or like 3 stats. You have to have a player that played for both teams or played for that team and had that stat. And the objective is to be as unique as possible. So the lower score you get, the better. And my hockey cards growing up is what built my information bank in my head to pick these different players and stuff like that. It's I do it every morning. It's
Huh.
awesome.
That's
It's hard.
unique. Yeah.
It's
I
hard.
bet. Well, it's we were talking about like the speed of it and all that. That's why soccer's so popular, but it's not pushed in the States, is because it doesn't stop.
Well,
If it stops, it goes bing, you're out. Let's go.
And
And
the
there's no
Spanish-
time for commercials.
You ever see? Hold on, Simpsons. You ever see the Simpsons where they're playing soccer and you go back and forth between the English commentator and the Spanish commentator? It's
Oh, yeah.
like the forward passes to the winger, back to the forward, back to the winger, back to the forward, the other wing, back to this side, back to that side, and then you've got the Spanish guys like. He's like all excited and saying
Yeah.
words, and it's like that's the thing about soccer is like it's for as much as is going on, it's usually like you get these little breaks that are exciting.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I don't mind both of my kids being in soccer.
Because
It's because I'm like, okay, this game, this period or this half or whatever it is 20 minutes. In 20 minutes, they will be blowing the whistle.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, it goes. The
You wanna
problem
go
is
back.
it's not made for American TV where it's commercial. So it's
Yeah.
not popularized and it's not pushed because of exactly that.
let's go back to your dandelion comment. My daughter, Kieran, was on a soccer team for a little while. Yes, and we're playing in Mount Lebanon somewhere. And I mean, she's probably 5
Yeah.
or 6, right? And so like you're sitting there and you talk to other parents and stuff. And at one point in the game, and there's numerous fields together. Okay, so there's like they're little kids, so they like have all this area. There's like other things that can happen simultaneously. And we look up at one point and we're like, "Where's Kieran?" And we're looking around and I was like, "Nope, that ain't her. That ain't her. That her." And like you start to get worked up. I'm like, "Oh no, where the hell is she?" You start running around. And Kieran's down like 100 yards down this field on the other end, picking flowers. While everybody else is playing a game, Kieran's like, well, this is pretty. It's just like picking flowers at the other end of the
Yeah.
thing. Scared the crap
Just
out of us.
La La Land the whole time.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, you've got my attention span, kid.
Seneca said right field's where they put the kid who they wanted to cut from the team but didn't want to hurt their feelings.
Well, I mean, you needed a minimum number. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had the
Yeah.
big, thick brown glasses and stuff. Seneca very active in the chat room today.
Yeah. Yeah, he's getting it pulled off there, bud.
I think those Bruins jerseys are scaring away the rest of the crowd.
Let's do a cigar check-in. RJ?
Still going. Don't feel like I made a dent.
How do you feel about it, though? Taste, flavor,
would smoke
construction?
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I genuinely like it.
Okay.
Same thing, a little bit smaller, probably be better.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would smoke this again. Like if I'm gonna cut my grass in every neighbor within 20 miles, it's enough to get them all done.
Fair enough. Jay?
So I'm a good ways into this thing.
Yeah, you're half.
You're moving along.
This cigar,
For a guy that's smoking 2 cigars, you're way further in than me.
this cigar is like sitting down for a drinking contest with an old Russian guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're just not gonna win.
Yeah.
You're not going to finish this one. There's
He
no
sits
way.
down and he's like, "Let's go, comrade. We drink vodka now."
Remember, we open bottle, we finish bottle.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, because it's just
It keeps going.
it just keeps turning up and turning up and turning up and turning up. And now,
that's
As it's
where-
getting hotter.
oh yeah, about
Yes.
20 minutes ago, I was like, "Whoa, this thing's got some legs on it," and now I'm like, "Ugh, it's a centipede."
This is the cigar that doesn't end. And thoughts
yeah,
on
I
this?
don't think I even weighed in last time. You know what? I'm smoking much more conservatively than Jason.
He's made that mistake already.
which is great because that's what I wanted Jason to do, was go whole hog on it. Honestly, this isn't as bad as I expected it to be because I have that composure to be like, nah, man, just smoke it.
Just
chill,
slow down. That-
like a cigar. The construction's fantastic. I have not relit this.
I
I've
saw you
not
do one
touched
touch.
it up.
You did the one touch
Did
up.
I?
That was
Maybe I
it. But
did.
it was
Maybe I
like,
did.
but it was a. I don't like this being here. It
Oh
didn't
yeah,
need
one
it kind of
side,
one.
yeah.
Yep.
But the construction is really great. The draw is really good. The flavor is good. If you don't get like too crazy on this,
Yeah.
it's a great cigar. You know what? I think this is the ideal cigar for the sport that I like the least, golf,
Yeah.
because you're going to get through your whole game.
You're going.
I think
I
because you
would
have
100% not smoke that on the golf course.
really
100%.
because you're going to put it down and relight. No,
It is too strong to be out there in
Yeah.
the hot sun.
Oh,
Playing
sweating
golf.
with that nicotine.
Oh,
as
yeah.
somebody that's only played
Oh,
golf
yeah.
one time on the worst cold day,
Yeah, let's
I was
not.
like, why did I wear
let's not
shorts?
discuss
It's
your.
cold.
Let's not discuss your golfing.
Oh, yeah.
We've covered that. It's not. It's not a
So
good thing.
yeah, I would absolutely not smoke this on the golf course. It
Good
is-
golfers don't smoke this.
Yeah, it
bad
is-
golfers maybe.
It is not a golf.
Those
cigar.
of us who are busy in the woods looking for our ball, we can smoke that
Mm-hmm.
because we're in the shade and we're chilling
That's
out.
true.
We're just
That's right.
basically meandering.
This
That's
is this is a cigar
If you're
where
picking dandelions while everyone else is hitting balls,
if I have
this
money
is the
on the
cigar
round
for
of
you.
golf, this is the cigar I'm giving to everyone else.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm giving that to someone. Sure.
he's gonna be smoking the Chiselito.
I cannot wait. Now after having this, I cannot wait to try the Chiselito.
Yeah. That's going to be a pungent
Which is
little guy.
actually, as far as I know, the only patented size of a cigar that exists. Like no one else can make the chisel shape.
Gotcha.
Which is so essentially, if you look at the Toscano you just smoked, right? It's like a bellicoso. It's pointed at least at one end or both.
Mhm.
Essentially, what they do on the LFD chisel is it's like that. It's tapered off, but it's like the mouthpiece of a Black and Mild.
Yeah.
The way that they taper
Yeah, it
it,
tapers
so
down.
it's flat
Huh.
and tapered, so like fits in your mouth like a pipe or like a Black and Mild or something. It's kind of pretty awesome.
Okay, just to clarify, I'm smoking the Southern Draw Jacob's Ladder.
Which is
I
why
just-
we haven't
I
asked
just
Sam
I just
how he
realized I
likes
was
the
like, we
cigar.
haven't told them. I haven't said anything. So we didn't know RJ was coming whenever the cigars were acquired. So we opted in for a different one for me, and then these guys he took the digger since he hasn't done it before. So
Yeah, I offered.
When I had
offered, and I was
no
like, "Why don't
problem
we
with
give
that.
it to RJ?" And Sam was like, "That's the best idea
I
you've ever
like it.
had." Like, screw all those T-shirts you're always coming up with. This cigar swap is a great idea.
but it
I don't
shows
think
you
you
how
would've had a
slow
terrible
I
time.
smoke.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That would
Is,
have been gone 20 minutes ago for me. Easy.
is you know, you guys are, I mean, you're halfway through that, and I'm halfway through a Toro.
Yeah, but
this.
I'm halfway through this on purpose.
You're trying to hammer.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And is it meeting up to that level that we were kind of preparing you for?
I can already feel the little uneasiness.
The gurgle.
Yeah, the little
The
uneasiness.
Chiselitos are in there, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab
if
one
you
so
wanna
he
grab
can
one
see.
and show it off.
He
Yeah,
looked
it's fine.
excited. Now, is that the cigar or is that the beer? from
Oh
the
no,
game?
it's 100% the cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you were to keep going, like if you were to get aggressive, you'd start to feel pressure on your chest.
It's from my throat down to my stomach.
But you would
already.
feel weight on your chest.
I felt that, and I was like, I'm gonna pull the reins a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna slow down.
The other option you have is to like eat some sugar. Because what happens is when you take in all that nicotine all
Pop-Tart.
at once, it's like a trick your mind plays on you to think your blood sugar is low, which is why you'll get like that nauseous and like pressure. And you can pour like a sugar packet underneath your tongue and your body will instantly compensate for it and you'll feel better.
Huh.
There's some cookie cake or something over there if you really need
I have
something.
Pop-Tart right in front of me.
Have you ever put butter on a Pop-Tart?
I'm raw dogging this.
I absolutely have.
It's so freaking good.
Because of that episode, I was like, I have to try this.
I've never put butter on a Pop-Tart.
You need to do it.
If you haven't, then I think you should.
You beat me to it, and I'm very mad at that.
But which Pop-Tart would you butter?
Not a chocolate one.
No. Strawberry, cherry,
Yeah.
blueberry. Those are my three go-tos. Probably being in that order.
I think cinnamon's my favorite. The cinnamon sugar is my
there's the
favorite.
Ashton.
I think I would butter that one.
That wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, with the one we skipped.
So that is a
That is-
Chiselito.
look, you can
Oh,
see
wow.
the shape on the end there.
I was there when we picked it out.
Oh.
yeah.
It's I don't know.
And they have that in like larger sizes
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
Get the camera with this.
I picked the
Show
absolute
the folks at home.
smallest.
It's coming out of the cellar for
with
it.
the
That's fine.
intention of going like, hey, let's just take the largest possible size of a blend and then back to back smoke that with the smallest. Now
Spin
turn
it
it
a little bit.
sideways. Turn it side. There you go. Give it the 90.
There you
Trying to put the
go.
hat
Yeah.
behind it so that it gives a contrast.
That's
Okay.
it. It's cool
Um,
construction.
So, fun facts for you little hockey boys. What did Crosby really do? That was so cool yesterday, though.
1,000 assists.
Yeah.
He tied Gretzky for 10th points.
I think that
No,
was
he's not
before
tied
this
Gretzky.
game.
He moved
No,
into
not
10th
tied.
place all
He
time.
moved into 10th place all time.
Yeah, he's light years away from Gretzky.
No. With Gretzky, it was what was it? He's the
It was seasons with like I forget how many.
19
points.
seasons with 1 point per game.
Yeah,
consecutive.
Point per game
or-
pace,
yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Point
just-
per game average.
Yeah,
Yep. He's an animal.
He is.
And it's a very different era,
yeah.
which is the hardest thing of comparing them, right?
So there's a hockey podcast I listened to, and they were talking about there's a goals adjusted stat where it's like for like era adjusted for like
Is it called Zambroni's?
it is not. It is not.
I missed the ball there.
It is the Steve Dangle podcast. They're actually a Toronto Maple Leafs based podcast, but they talk about a lot of the NHL, and I've watched them for years. And they were talking about a thing where like Gretzky's 65 goal season he had, not Gretzky, Ovechkin's 65 goal season he had in 2012, I think.
Crazy.
Era adjusted was like a 78 goal season
Yeah.
because of
Oh,
like how
insane.
much scoring's up now and things like that, and as compared to before, it's an interesting stat to look at. Like one of Gretzky's season where he had like 80 some goals, it dropped down to like 50 for like how goalies are now and how goalies
Yeah.
are better and stuff like that. It was interesting stat.
One thing I do think is cool, like with the whole Sid thing, is even like because he stays out of media, he's not into the attention side of it. He's just a good player and he does his thing.
It's always a perfect interview.
Every
He
team,
never messes up.
like anybody who comes in here who doesn't like the Penguins, they still don't talk trash on him. Like they're just like, yeah, he's a problem. Like, the only thing we're mad about is that we don't have him. Like that's it.
Sure.
Like he's managed his.
But people do go on the crybaby angle,
They
which is
used to.
but it's like when you're that good, you're gonna get people are gonna go after you, and they're not gonna be able to call it every time, or the
Yeah.
other team would just be shorthanded the whole game.
Yeah.
Right. So there's something to compensate for there, and it's like you don't get it because if you had him on your team, you would be looking at it from a
Yeah.
different angle.
What was the one the other day? He just like dropped the dude. Like he got, was that the Tampa game or was that the Red Wings? He just picked the dude up and flipped him over, threw him on the ice. Like the dude started to skirmish with him. And he manhandled this 240-pound guy like it was just nothing. He just like grabbed him and flipped
Sidney
him.
Crosby has tree trunks for legs.
But arms too. Like he picked this man up like he was.
Yes.
His butt is massive.
You spend a lot of time looking at it. You and Eric sit here and oogle over pictures.
Here's the thing: if you look at how often he is pressed against the boards and able to just overpower somebody from that position of weakness.
Of course, just they're licking the glass as he's pushed up against the boards.
The schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
No, it's okay. It's always like, as not a hockey fan at all, like completely neutral to I don't care. But no matter where I go, like you hear people and they're like, yeah, but freaking Crosby.
But that's one thing, like Jason said earlier about like how fast Crosby is. We need to go to a Penguins Oilers game, and you see Connor McDavid skate.
That kid is so quick.
It's not even fun. It's not even fun,
dude. From the first time I saw that kid play,
4 strides from the net to he's at center ice. 4 strides.
He is so
gone.
Fast.
There was a video of him in practice. They were doing like a fastest skater competition in practice where they would start behind the net and they at the circles they go behind the net and come out in front. McDavid went around, got to the hash marks, spun around and started skating backwards and was 20 feet ahead of the other guy.
Oh my god! He's so
it was
fast.
ridiculous. It was absolutely insane.
And that's like Crosby has to be good at everything. That's what really sets him apart. Is he's so good.
He's a complete player.
Yes. Yeah. He's a grinder. Like he works.
Oh yeah, he cares
as hard as anybody. And like you've got these guys like Kessel that's just a pure scorer. You've got McDavid who is so fast that like gives him those opportunities, which I'm not saying he's not as
you're not downplaying
I'm just saying like it would be so hard not to get great looks at the net when you can get to the net, 25 to 50% faster than everybody else on the ice. Whereas Crosby's just like, I've seen him do things that just are illogical. Like you've seen him, you remember the Superman dive where he did the one-timer while he was like levitating a foot off of the ice in full dive mode. I've seen him do a backward deflection like this from the other side of the net and like put it in. Like
Sid had a goal.
Mind is incredible.
2 or 3 years ago against Montreal where the goalie dropped. He flipped the puck up in the air.
Oh, I remember this one.
Tapped it over and then tapped it in out of the air again over the goal.
That was on like every it was,
and he's aware of where like he can and can't hit it. Mm-hmm. Like he was the guy that, as far as I'm concerned, really made deflections a thing. Like when everybody started becoming like, oh no, deflections are always possible.
The one knee,
from any angle.
Drop to a knee, open the blade.
It's crazy.
But that goal versus Montreal, being a Bruins fan, seeing the Canadians suffer in any way is always heartwarming.
There you go.
I really enjoyed that.
So I've got no problem with however long this episode ends up going. I'm going to put that out there right away. But with that being said, we missed something on the last episode. Pull your cigars down and you're going to see it.
Yeah,
special jewelry. We did not get an opportunity to talk about. I found out Jason didn't watch it.
I'm so upset.
I made him watch it at work. To be like, okay, here you need to be educated for the next show.
No, stuff like that you got to leave so he can watch it while we talk about it, and then just be like, oh,
we've got RJ though.
I'm not doing anything else.
It's just watching a YouTube video. It's on regular YouTube. There's nothing.
But then
I
you'd
don't
have
trust
to like
any of you.
You shouldn't, but that's not the point. This time you can trust Jason.
Jason, are you guys friends on Facebook or something? Can you share the link?
We tried last night.
You gotta have his phone number. You could text him the link.
I could just hand him my phone.
You could
you
do that too. That's fine.
He's close.
And we could start. I'm gonna start out with. Let's start with Jason because Jason was like out of the loop, and I had to show him at work.
Hold on. Hold on. I think I can pull up.
I don't know if we want
video. He can't see it, so yeah.
Because
just
then we're gonna have to pause our audio.
You know what that is?
I know what that is.
He's like I know
I saw that on TikTok.
I had those made,
and I was.
I saw.
I don't know if repulsed is a strong enough word.
A Facebook reel is how I found it, and I immediately shared it to these guys.
Yes,
because I was like, "This is some interesting."
Is that what's hanging on your necklace right now?
No, but so before we even start talking about it, the product was placed on a silver chain, and I'm like, "Why not a pearl necklace?" I feel like you missed the mark on this one,
Corey.
That's a lot of work.
Corey, I think you're gonna have to describe.
Oh no, you're first up.
To our viewers at home, what it was. That
Yeah,
you
what did we
watched.
watch?
So, as one does, randomly scrolling through the Facebook reels, you find some interesting things every occasion. This lady is essentially making jewelry pendants out of dough. Yes, like clay. You would with dough or
Transparent
clay. And then you're going to bake said thing and create a thing out of it, which is a little weird in and of itself for jewelry, I would say.
The flower itself is very well done, and it looks.
She's talented.
Yeah,
artist.
she's talented.
So she's obviously accustomed to working with the medium. The first thing that gets everybody, I think, is when you're watching and she goes, "Okay, we're gonna make a jizzy flower," and you're like,
Wait,
"Okay,
what?
I didn't hear that right. Let's keep watching and see what's going on." You've got my attention. I'm not gonna scroll to the next thing because just in case you said what I thought you said.
At first, you had my attention. Now you have my curiosity.
and obviously you've had some vitamin D. So apparently what happens is customers, in this case it was a lady, sent in a sample of presumably her man's sample. Right?
Yep.
Sounds spunky.
Let me ask you a question.
Spunky.
You could be a Marine. You if you're in the Army or a soldier. What are you if you're in the Navy?
You are a seaman.
That's right. And she takes this sample and apparently dries it and turns it into a powder. And then adds this powder to the clay.
To the transparent clay.
Transparent clay, which is no longer transparent when she's done.
And one other
It's
note,
milky.
that room where she dries it smells terrible. I could only imagine.
I mean, maybe that's her thing, you know? I'm sure Eric would be like,
if my stomach wasn't churning from the cigar, it is
Flavor
now.
country.
Yeah.
I've started powdering my samples and using it as coffee creamer.
So Jason, on to you. Explain. What's your take? What's your mindset of watching this?
See, as somebody who's been in the
As somebody who's taken a few samples.
No, as somebody who's been in I was a police officer. As somebody who's been in like an emergency response,
I would love. I
setting.
can't wait to find out where this is going.
The first thing my mind went to was like body substance isolation. Man, she's handling somebody else's fluids. That's not good.
Powders.
That is not
It
okay.
comes in fluid form.
Is that how it comes?
It comes in fluid form.
It sure does.
Oh, Corey, your face is the
Red,
color.
I can feel it.
It's the color of the
Of the
wall
wall?
behind you.
Is he even sitting there?
Where am I?
All I see is the shirt.
We need to make clay pigeons that have samples in it, and then it's really skeet shooting. Oh, skeet, 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 skeet. Oh, skeet, skeet.
And then when
You need to
when it
stop.
misfires,
You need to stop sitting next to him.
I just got so excited because I'm sitting here playing through. I'm like, all right, we covered spunk, we got the Navy portion, we got jizz covered. What's left? You got cum. Damn, what do we got? Oh,
ski.
skeet.
The best part
That's
is
straight out of the mind of Corey, is what that was.
the best part
Osmosis,
is
man.
when you hit the
plucked
button.
that out of his head.
The best part's when you hit the button and it doesn't come, and you go, "Oh, you're shooting blanks." Yeah. There you go.
See that's the thing.
So
I didn't
Jason,
actually say we should do this.
All right. We'll
kinda did.
proceed.
But like,
Give the
Not
audio,
actually trying
paint
to
the
stuff
picture,
this.
man. Like your first experience with this.
I was so worried about she's handling other people's juice.
juice. All right.
That can't be sanitary. That's all I thought. The entire video. I was
I
like,
just
this can't be sanitary.
There was a very thin line between what platform it would go on. And if she'd have licked her fingers, it would have been a different platform. You know what I'm saying?
OF.
You thought about this way too much.
I haven't thought about anything too much. It's just all as it happens.
This is
This
an
is not-
experience.
You don't
This
know
is an
Corey.
experience, man.
You don't know Corey.
It's like it's like what's going on in his mind is you ever see one of those like those rolls of like the Black Cat fireworks?
Yep.
You light one end and that's it. That's all it takes. And it just goes all the way down until it's done. But that's his brain.
I'm like a computer with a very high-end processor and RAM, but 0 hard drive.
He's got the
So there's
mind
nothing
of a
premeditated.
child.
Yeah, so yes. There's nothing premeditated. It is just from one thing to another, to another, to another. So Samuel, your thoughts, because you were excited about this topic.
I was mostly excited to talk about it and see Eric's reaction. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah,
now if she had been making like a toe,
yes,
that would have been the way.
Yes,
the way to
if
go.
she was making a toe out of the milk of magnesia or something like that, like, oh, funky spunky jewelry. Like it's bad. I sat there and I watched it and I'm like, exactly what you said. I'm like, I heard that wrong. Because she's real calm right now.
That's the thing. At least I came from an organic position of scrolling.
You came across
It
it
is an
organically.
organic necklace.
Oh, yes,
organic,
it
yeah.
is.
Organic jewelry. You know what I mean?
Hormone free.
Well, I don't know about that.
She may have
It's
moaned.
hormone generated.
This is
You
true.
know, you know what the difference is between a
added
hormone
hormones.
and an enzyme?
Oh, what?
You can't hear an enzyme,
Nice.
but you can hear a hormone.
Oh, I know.
Get it? Get it?
Did you see what he did there? It's a play on words.
I've got one similar. but
We're
it's
all
not
acting
okay
like
for
we're
the
smiling, but
podcast.
we're all dying inside
But
a
you
little bit of
guys
that
are
dad
coming
joke.
from a position of, okay, Corey sent this to me for a
The
reason.
jizz puns. Just I
Coming.
can't stop now.
You can't, you won't, and you don't. Stop.
Oh, the one-eyed venom. It's too much.
Venom.
The one-eyed snake venom.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it's spitting at you. No, it was exactly what you said though. It was like she didn't say that. Oh no. Oh, and now she's playing with it. And she's sprinkling it on there.
She's leaning in.
She's going for it. And then the milk thing came about from the lactose beer. Somebody's done that. Somebody's added that to beer.
Ew.
Somebody's done it though. You know it's happened.
Ew.
Yep.
Ew.
Don't they call that Iron City?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Troy Harper's most read out loud worthy comment ever, maybe on this show, says maybe she and Gene Simmons could go into business together. Listen to the Kiss song called Plaster Caster.
Yes.
There is
Where'd the sample come from?
my love gun. I was gonna say there is an inordinate amount of Kiss songs that are direct references to pee-pees.
Just made me think of role models.
This whole show is essentially Stifler talking to the little kid and be like,
I
"No,
like
the whole
your
song's
take
about his
on
penis,
boobies.
and I like boobies." Oh yeah. Remember, a lot of references. We started out with the gingerly touching tips. At
Yes.
the beginning of this episode.
Yeah. There's been a lot more
All right.
phallic.
We've already messed up
emphasis.
the episode. Don't bullshit a bullshitter. She's good in that movie, dude.
Oh yeah.
She's so good in that movie.
Ow. Yeah. Ow. No. I'm just the jewelry though. Like why? Why does that exist? That's the thing. Obviously there's a market for it, but like what? You know what?
What it took me back to was when you were a kid, and the most exciting thing that you could find was a friend that had an HBO subscription, and you could watch Real Sex, and you were like, "This is gonna be great." And it was just like a bunch of old, overweight people doing like weird stuff. But there was an episode where the guy took a cast of his wife's
Ding-a-ling.
lady parts and turned it into a gold charm on a necklace, like the lips and the little button at the top. And that was the and I was like, oh, okay, it's like the other version of that. Certainly gives a whole new context to the Seal song. Kissed by a rose on the grave.
I've been
Kissed by a rose on the grave.
Guys are stupid.
Getting a little more context into what them temper guys are like there, RJ.
Tempered. You guys are something.
Yeah, we are.
You're something.
special. So special.
The land of laid back.
Oh, there's nothing to follow that. That's
You know what can follow that, Sam?
What's that?
Laid back.
The end of the show.
Right.
We there?
Yeah.
We're past
Let's
that.
cover a few things real quick.
What do we got?
Because I've been doing a terrible job at this. We've got like 3 weeks of piled up new members to the Facebook group because I never read it anymore. So let's welcome the new members to the group. There's some names in here. Unk Fiesta, which
I like it.
Yep.
What's up, Unk Fiesta?
Sup, Unk?
I think the name of another alternate name of the show could be Spunk Fiesta. It's a possibility. Linda Santa Maria, Jason LaFave, Mark Phillips, Cigar Bar Maryland, Kevin McGuire, Angelo Orito, Jake Sazikia. I don't freaking know. There's a J in there.
There's vowels where there should be.
Yeah,
not,
there's
not where there
that's a lot
should-
of consonants.
Yeah, there's things happening there.
Okay, how about the next one? You
I'd
got
call
any
it-
guesses?
I'd call it
What's
Jake.
Joe's last name?
Grisby.
Really?
I have no idea. I just threw it out, but Grisby
Grisby?
made.
And then the last one is just as questionable as the rest. DJ Ant.
That's it.
That's interesting. So for you guys that have not yet caught a Strum Junkie show, your next opportunity is going to be Thursday, April 18th from 6 to 8 at Liberty Pole Distillery over in Washington, Pennsylvania. Super awesome spot. Excited to play there. Probably the only time it's ever going to happen because scheduling a show on a weekday is super difficult for us. And I'm not a super huge fan of like the day or the time slot, but I think it's going to be a great show. What do you got coming up for the kids at Just a Tip?
We got Luciano is going to be here, and from what Paul told me, the event that he does, he'll actually take a cigar apart and roll it into fumas and have you blend it back together. Which I'm just
When is this happening?
nerding out. Last Sunday of the month, it's the 28th this month.
All right. So 2 weeks from now.
Yep, 2 weeks from today, Luciano will be here, Liberty Pool will be here. And yeah, our standard Sunday fun day will be happening, but I think it's going to be this. I'm really excited for this one. And then,
Yeah, me too.
it's the nerd in me is going kind of crazy on this one.
So before I get to the full closing, RJ,
Yes.
how was your first podcast experience?
An experience.
Yeah. Have a good time.
I thought, yeah, absolutely. I thought I was close with Jason, especially after the game last night, but
You were wrong.
Whole new level of. I can't wait to post screenshots everywhere around the mill of the video of this episode. By the way, there's cameras.
don't start a war you can't win.
Oh yeah, it's all right. I think we'll be okay there because people have seen me do way worse.
Yeah, we do have
Magical mythical
those on
corn
his
corn.
head. So
Oh yeah. There's some activities you need to watch. That's the first thing you're doing after the show's watched that
Dude,
5 minutes. You'll have a great time.
the look on his face though tells me that he's played with AI generation. He can make you do things
I'm not
even
worried.
you wouldn't do.
He can't make. No, it's not true. I don't think you can. The computer would probably be more resistant than I would.
We have a guy who
The computer's got standards.
we have a guy in my department that we joke is Jesus, and we photoshopped him on his face onto Jesus.
Oh man, the
And
oil
there is
field-
a
I've done some things.
false Jesus prayer candle on the mantle of my house.
Nice.
Christmas tree ornaments, stickers.
Oh, I
everywhere.
used to use
He
my
commits.
powers of like photoshopping for evil in the oil field quite a bit, but there was a lot to work with back then.
Speaking of which, after the show, there is a discussion we need to have.
I think I'm gonna get my pee-pee spanked.
No, not at all.
All right, so as always, go to that beautiful URL at the bottom of the screen, thecigarjunkies.com, where you can find all things junkies, including our latest episodes. You can find the swag. You can find a way to continue to help Dave and Patty with their financial and medical troubles, which we highly encourage you to do. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share on every platform. We will be back with you guys on April the 21st. We will be smoking the LFD Double Ajero Chiselito. Yeah. RJ, any last words?
I got nothing.
Say the thing.
Salud.